Hello, thank you for joining us for our weekly object talk. My name is Eliana, and today you're joining us for an object talk on an 18th century sundial. This object is one of 40,000 objects in the Jewish Museum London's designated collection, which shows the diversity of Jewish life and history, and our programs exist to explore the connections between faiths and cultures. To reflect on this week's theme of time, we've chosen a sundial from our collection. In order to take a closer look at this sundial, please do click on the link in the description of this video, or alternatively, click on the link that is in the comments on this video. And this will take you through so that you can have a look at this object in closer detail. I'll just give you a moment to do so. Now, this bronze sundial was made in Pisa, Italy in 1765. A sundial is an object used to tell the time using the sun as it casts shadows on the sundial. Sundials have been used for over 3,000 years, used in ancient times by the Egyptians, the Babylonians, the Greeks, and the Romans. You will find this object in our daily lives case in the Judaism Gallery at the Jewish Museum. Now, let's look closely at the object. So, if you haven't yet, please do click on the link either in the description of this video or on the comments section of this video. If you can't quite see it in the comment section, just click off the video and then back onto it and you'll be able to see it. So, looking closely at the object, it looks like a standing copper sundial, which is in the shape of a semicircle, or a bit like a semicircle, with a swirl pattern border engraved around the edges. On the bottom edge of the circular part, there is a Hebrew inscription. This translates as, "The noonday prayer at his hour, forget not to say." I'll repeat that. The Hebrew inscription on the bottom edge of the sundial, it translates as, "The noonday prayer at his hour, forget not to say." Now from this, we know that the sundial was made for Jewish daily life because it's reminding Jewish people not to forget the midday prayer. Now this refers to the practice of praying 3 times a day, in the morning, the afternoon, and the evening. The practice of praying 3 times a day originates from our forefathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Abraham instituted the morning prayer. Isaac was the first to pray in the afternoon, and Jacob was the first to say the evening prayers. It was later that the rabbis formalized the 3 daily prayers as standard practice. And they also timed it to correspond with the daily sacrifices that would have happened in temple times, since prayer would replace sacrifice. This object reminds us of the importance of prayer in Jewish daily life. It's a way for Jewish people to build a relationship with God, bring them closer to God, but also closer to Jewish communities around the world. In fact, daily prayer is one of the 613 commandments or mitzvot in the Torah. There are many different types of prayer in Judaism. Prayers to God, prayers for yourself, and prayers on behalf of someone else. The Hebrew word for prayer is tefillah. It is traditional to pray in the Hebrew language, in the language in which the Torah is written. However, it is acceptable to pray in one's own language as well. Hebrew sidurs, or prayer books, are translated into languages for Jewish communities all around the world, and this ensures an understanding of the traditional prayers as they can be read in a language in which everyone speaks and understands. In Britain, we have different streams of Judaism across which the interpretation of the Torah differs. In many liberal and reform synagogues, much of the services can be in English, and where prayers are also read in English as well. Jewish people may also wear traditional clothing when they pray. Traditional clothing worn by men, such as a talit or prayer shawl, and a kippah, which is a head covering worn as a mark of respect to God. In liberal and reform communities, these items of clothing may also be worn by women as well. Jewish people pray in synagogue, but also they can pray at home as well. Now, unfortunately, there are many unknowns about this sundial. We do not know who owned it, but we may speculate, however, that it was someone who owned it, someone who was quite traditional, due to the reminder to keep the commandment of prayer. When thinking about this object, I am reminded of how prayer was and continues to be an important part of daily life for many Jewish people. Prayer is about carving out time to be alone with God in a period of reflection, and also about connecting with God or yourself. It has relevance in the situation we find ourselves in today. It made me think about the importance of making time for those who are close to us, whether they be physically near or not. Now, some of us may have had more time recently to reflect, to pray, to meditate, and it may have been a welcome break or perhaps more difficult. The presence of time can either be overwhelming or wholly welcome, and it's different for different people. If you like, please do comment below the video your thoughts and reflections on this time and how perhaps you have been spending it. We would love to hear from you. This brings me to the end of my object talk. Thank you so much for joining us. Please do join us next week, where we will be talking about some North African women. Now, please take care and goodbye for now.